What matters is who has the power. But that is something that the Jedi won't teach you. So I'll take you to someone who will. Welcome back to Fort Mortis modding series time again. We are still on the Empire. Now I know this guy. This is the most versatile guy in the game. And there used to be conspiracy theories on different ways you could mod this guy, but really, in my opinion, and you can see the community as well, 46% of the top end guilds are modding this guy the same way, and there's a reason for that. All right, so we're going to go into that, but it's basically speed and health mod. So I'll show you the small one up top. You see Grand Admiral Thrawn. Read it left to right, and then center, and then far right. All right, so to talk about this, I want to start out. The kit can be a little bit complicated, and the way the kit's set up is it's kind of unique, so you really got to read through it. But that's Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. They don't do a very good job of wording in this game, so you really got to pay attention, and sometimes you even have to test to make sure it's the way that it's read, or the way it's intended. All right, so with his basic characters, now keep in mind, he's one of those guys they had to nerf, so you've got characters, and then you've got what they do against raid bosses. You also can have what they do against GLs as well. He was one of the original GL killers, and they had to step him back a little bit along with Vader and a few others. Deal special damage to target enemy. Grant them speed up for 1 turn. Well, why would I give speed up to another character? Let's keep going. Or if they already had ability block, inflict stun for 1 turn instead. When this speed up expires, it adds ability block, and this cannot be resisted. So you are giving him speed up, and then you are giving him an ability block for sure. But if he's already ability blocked, you came back around, got another turn, then you're going to land a stun. Well, you can land a stun. It's not guaranteed. The ability block is. Raid bosses deal damage to target enemy and inflict defense down for 2 turns, which can't be resisted. Fracture. This is where this guy is clutch. This is why his versatility and why he can fit in any squad. Doesn't even need to be Empire. He can fit anywhere. He just works very good with the Empire, as you'll see as we read. Deals special damage. Keep in mind, this is special, not physical. To target enemy 4 times. Dispel all buffs on them. Remove 50% turn meter and inflict fracture, which we'll read into in a second, until the start of Thrawn's next turn, until he's defeated, which can't be copied or dispelled. This attack cannot be evaded or resisted. Fracture on characters. Keep in mind it says here on characters, then it says on Galactic Legends. On characters, their speed is reset to 0, cannot gain buffs, bonus attacks, or bonus turn meter. There's a different one for Fracture on raid bosses, Galactic Legends. You guys could read into that. That's your job. That's your homework to read into it. But I want to go over the characters because 99% of what you're going to do is against characters. So to go into it with it, to try to eliminate any confusion, I actually had to read it a few times, but the nice part about this is that fracture will stay on there until Thrawn takes a turn or he dies. This is where his Zeta that we're going to talk about comes in clutch. All right, we'll move on to the next one. Grand Admiral's Command. This is his special. It's got on a 3 cooldown. Swap turn meter with target other ally. Dispel all debuffs on Thrawn and that ally. And they recover 40% protection. See all that protection up here on the visual? 40% protection. That is a ton. So if he's got 100k protection, he can stack up 40% of that back, 40,000. All right, this is where that comes in. And then let's move on to the next one. The Zeta, the leadership. So the Zeta and the leadership, I do not recommend it. It's a luxury, which we'll get into in a minute. But Empire allies, he's a good lead. Don't get me wrong. But he's utilized and better in most places, not in the lead role. Empire allies have plus 50% max protection. So again, plays into his protection if you put him in the leadership. So as you decide to do, protection is even more important. Plus 25% offense and gain 20% turn meter whenever they resist a detrimental effect or suffer a debuff. Whenever an Empire ally gains or loses a status effect, they recover 2% protection. Empire allies gain a new special ability, Maneuver. Maneuver is dispel all debuffs on this character and gain 50% turn meter. That's a huge bonus right there. Dog's trying to knock over my heater. So anyway, that's the first Zeta. That's the one that I will not put on for a long time, but that's just my opinion. Ebb and Flow. highly recommend if you've got the capability. I didn't have it for the longest time because I didn't realize how much the protection is so important. So to go into this, the Zeta, this is it without the Zeta. So you're at 50% counter chance and 50% tenacity, and then you go up to 100% counter chance with the Zeta, but that's not even the best part. With the Zeta, Thrawn has 100% counter chance, 100% tenacity, and so you want him to survive because when he dies, that fracture is done. And minus 50% speed while all enemies are fractured. So we're going to get into why you want Thrawn fast, but here's the thing. If you got him fast, you're thinking, well, if he takes a turn, fracture's going to fall off. Well, here's the thing about that Zeta. He's going at minus 50%. So if he's running 300, if you have the Zeta, once he puts fracture on, as long as somebody's got fracture, he's running at 150 speed. That means that fracture is going to stay there longer, and you can crowd control better. You think about that in a Palpatine team with all that turn meter train. Clutch. All right. Whenever another Empire ally uses a special ability while Thrawn is active, that ally gains 50% turn meter. And if any enemies are fractured, listen to this. Thrawn and fractured enemies lose 15% turn meter. Let me read that again. If any enemies are fractured, let me go back up. Special ability while Thrawn is active, that ally gains 15% turn meter. And if any enemies are fractured, Thrawn and fractured enemies lose 15% turn meter. So again, keeping fracture on longer because Thrawn and the enemy are losing turn meter. So if Palpatine's team, for instance, is gaining turn meter and the enemy is losing turn meter, imagine how much faster Palpatine's going. Huge. So this is a great Zeta, ebb and flow. All right, so let's go into the mods. Actually, let's go and look at this right here. Here's my stats. I've got health, 35k. He's at Relic 1, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's Relic 1. I just reliced him, actually, this week. I didn't have him Relic for the longest time. I had him at Gear 10 for ages, and he still did great work. Protection, you can see I've got it stacked up really good. I've got 25k extra on there, getting him to 68. I'm running him 292. 292. Potency at 59.19%. Potency isn't really that needed on him. Overall, I mean, it's decent, but it's not needed. Tenacity, I've got it pretty high. I do like tenacity on him because I do not want getting him stunned or anything along that line. But it was not one of my main ones to go after. It just fell on the mods. And the one thing you can do when you bring him to Relic, and I'll show you why. Like Palpatine, he's got the mastery of accuracy, crit avoidance for survivability, and damage. So once he goes into Relic levels, it's not too bad to put offense on this guy. All right, let's look at my mods real quick. Looking at the square. We've got speed with... Go back here, sorry. Speed with potency. I do recommend health mods. The potency here is where it fell for me. I actually need to farm health mods. So I'm going to say I would go with health mods to boost that up. Actually, now I think about it, I need to go in and do this. Let me see. I think I did it for speed. I did. So I got 17 speed on this one and 15. That's right. That's why I did it. So I recommend health mods. But in this case, I wanted the speed more over anything else. That's why I went with these. So anyway, let's review these. Offense, health, protection, speed, protection. Lovely. Diamond, speed, health, protection, tenacity. Lovely. Tenacity is not totally necessary, but it helps. Circle, health, offense. The percentage is nice at Relic. 15 speed, and then protection, beautiful. Definitely want a speed arrow. You guys can see that visual up there. Your primaries, you want protection, speed, protection, protection. We've got protection, defense, potency, offense. Then we've got protection triangle with 11 speed, defense, potency, and tenacity. Those are kind of stats. And then I chose to go with the tenacity one here because it had 15 speed and it was affordable to give to Thrawn. Primarily, I would like to have protection on there at some point. I just couldn't afford the mod at the time. So, but I do recommend the protection boost over here. It is nice having that little bit of offense on there. Is what it is. So another thing with these guys, they recommend in-game, and I disagree with it, speed and crit chance. His crit chance is horribly low. Oh, here we go with that freaking bug again. All right, I gotta back out. Hang on. I don't know why the game's bugged like this right now. His crit chance is 29.87 at Relic 1. I think it gets up around 33 or something like that when it gets to Relic 7. So if you can't crit, you're not going to be doing crit damage. So there's no sense in having crit chance on this guy. It makes no sense to me why they recommended it one bit. And from what I've been reading, everybody says the same thing. 46% of the game, the upper tier guilds are putting speed and health mods on this guy. All right, let's go into the big visual, knock this out. Secondary stats, I recommend you put speed, protection. You can add offense, especially percentage. When you get to the relic levels, you can add it anyway if you want. But then health, defense, tenacity, those don't hurt at all. Again, I've got potency on him. I need to change it, to be honest, guys, but I'm going to show you. Modding is not a perfect science when you're doing 216 characters. So I'll probably go revisit this to see if I can find health mods as well. But reading through his kit, this is to get you the best modding you can get out of this to give you the best versatility. And this guy needs to survive. He needs to be fast. In order to survive, protection plays to his kit. So that's a wonderful thing. Fracture is the key to his success and the support of his team. So keep this guy alive. Relic level priority, I put him as a 6 because I didn't do it for the longest time. He does have a ship. It's a good ship, but it's not the meta. He does have I was trying to think what I was going to say. He's got multiple reasons why I don't want to bring him up to Relic early, but he does go for a GL as well. So, excuse me. So I definitely recommend taking him a Relic at some point, but he was not high priority for me for a long time. He did what I needed him to do. If I'm afraid he's going to die, I'll bring in a pre-taunt like Short Trooper, and it always worked for me. So 270 speed is the recommendation. You guys got any questions, comments, put them below. Appreciate you guys. Till next time. We are 1 battalion strong. And don't forget, hook a brother up. Old man needs it. Thank you.
Shut up and sit down.